What was a promise you made to yourself in a young age but broke later on? For example, only marrying once in your life, never get bangs, etc. Edit. Wow, this is blowing up. I love reading all your comments and how different every single one is. Every decision we make forms us as a person. You guys are great. Promised I'd never marry BC. I could never possibly poop in the same house a male was in. I promised myself that I would never cry over a boy when I was 11. To be that naive again. When I was 10, I promised myself I'd kill myself before reaching 30. Figured that would be the absolute longest I'd be able to stand being alive. I'm now 31, no longer suicidal, and realized I was sad for a very long time and just finally coming out of it and becoming myself. Medicine for mental illness is a wonder of modern times. That all my tattoos would be meaningful. The more you get, the less you care about that. It's silly, but I was going to be an ice cream truck. If not that, then I'd own one. No interest in being a truck now, but it would have been cool. I promised myself I wouldn't be broke at 30. Lost a $60K a year job at 29, got divorced following year, ended up with crazy debt, had to move in with parents for a while. All by 33, but bounced back at 35 better than ever lol. Never let myself get to an unhealthy weight fixing that now, never cry over a boy that'll never be fixed, never work a job I hate. To be young and naive. I do have a job I like now though. I promised myself I'd never end up in an abusive relationship. My mom had been in one prior to marrying my father and it left her with a lot of issues. Little did I know that it's really not that easy. Abusers aren't wearing a sign that announces who they are, and emotional abusers are particularly insidious. I promised myself to save my virginity till I get married and give him as a unique gift to him. That I would never smoke weed lol. Promised myself I'd be through grad school and employed before I even considered getting married. But this raging ass who just woke me up by putting his goddamn freezing hands on my pregnant boobies somehow swept me off my feet and I got married at 19. I did finish school and have a job. I wanted to become a scientist. I discovered I was very bad at math and I developed a few mental illnesses. I promised myself I would know when a guy wasn't right for me after years of watching my sister in an abusive relationship. Turns out not right for you doesn't mean he needs to be abusive. I promised I'd never have plastic surgery. Fucking lol, my new titties are great. I had promised myself I'd live with my parents until I either got married or for the rest of their lives to be their caregiver. The situation with them became so toxic as I grew into an adult, though, that I took the first chance to move and ran. I promised myself when I was about 9 that I would never utter the words chili cheese dog. I just wanted there to be a sequence of words I would never ever say in my life. It also became my secret password in case I met somebody claiming to be me from the future. Something only the real me could truly know. Well, I fucking blew it when I was 22. Ordered a chili cheese dog through a drive-thru and didn't realize what I'd done until the words were already out of my mouth. Promised myself I'd never marry someone who had children, as I saw how my half-siblings, from my dad's first marriage, had caused a lot of conflict in my family. They used my dad for anything they could get from him, and sometimes it felt like he treated them better than he treated us. Ended up marrying a man with a daughter and she's an incredible, intelligent, good-hearted girl and I love her to bits. That when I was an adult I would only eat candy. And no one would be able to stop me. I was 8. Not to have sex before marriage. To be clear, the promise was made at metaphorical finger gunpoint when a pastor brought me on stage and asked me to put a gun to my head and compared having sex to Russian roulette. She asked how many times I would pull the trigger if it could ruin my life forever and 12-year-old me said none. Church is a weird place.